Yo, welcome everyone. Most are now looking at this symmetrical triangle, and that's why I don't think it is going to play out nicely. Everyone will once again be wrong and completely wrecked, and let me show you why. First of all, our liquidity level is still being respected very nicely. Bitcoin has gotten the exact bounce from our liquidity level below the recent low that was also very nicely aligning with the anchored VWAP from the start of this very impulsive push towards the upside. We hit both of the levels almost to the exact dollar accuracy, and this is exactly where we are right now seeing a very small push towards the upside of approximately 1.4%. And when we are right now zooming out, of course, if you're going to look over on X or maybe even YouTube, people are talking about the symmetrical triangle, which of course I would also say it does have a higher probability of breaking towards the upside. But to be honest, I definitely would not fire another long or a buy position, and I would definitely not trade the breakout out of the triangle. And in this specific video, I'm going to show you, of course, exactly why I would not be looking for a breakout trade right here, and also where you can actually fire another long or a buying position, because in my opinion, it is going to be a much nicer level. Of course, I do right now still remain in my short position in case the triangle is going to see a breakdown. However, with this specific short, I have already paid myself, and also I'm right now still holding a lot of different long or buying positions because, of course, the trend remains towards the upside, and of course, ideally, I still want another all-time high to be formed sooner rather than later. But the thing is, let me right now share with you exactly what I think is right now happening on the 30-minute time frame in terms of the entire structure right here. Because it does look like that only a couple of days ago, we talked about a bigger ABC correction that was taking place on the Bitcoin chart itself. The main price target was 0.5 Fibonacci and 1-to-1 Fibonacci extension price targets at approximately 114,000 US dollars. And also one very important thing I mentioned in my previous videos. We paid attention to the very important Fibonacci time. So what we did, we measured the entire previous correction right here and compared it to the current correction Bitcoin is having. It does look like 1-to-1 Fibonacci time level is going to be reached literally today in the next couple of hours, which could potentially mean the correction on Bitcoin is right now already finished, and we are simply going to continue its way literally straight towards another all-time high. So when we right now talk about our bigger ABC correction right here, how does that look like? We are simply going to identify our entire push towards the downside as being our A wave. We got our B wave right here, and also it does look like if we right now actually continue higher, Bitcoin simply completed the C elite wave. And also, once we are zooming out on the 30-minute time frame, you can clearly see some kind of a 5-wave price structure has already been finished. That is why I would say, if we right now at the rules, that being said, usually the previous correction that was taking place already back in June 2025 is the same length as the one that we are having right now. Of course, it could potentially mean the ABC correction is right here finished and we simply can continue its way literally straight towards another all-time high. However, there is right now a very slight problem. And this problem is going to be that the C8 wave right here did not really hit any major price targets. When we go right now with our Fibonacci extension from the swing high back towards the swing low, back towards our swing high, the first target is 0.618. Clearly, the level has not been hit. The second and even most important target is then going to be 1-to-1 Fibonacci extension level, which also clearly still has not been hit. So of course, if we are right now looking for a brand new long or a buying position at this specific area, make sure you have proper risk management, because the reality is we can still drop towards the downside to hit our lower targets and only then continue our way straight towards the upside. But once again, I also do think looking for a long or a buying position at this specific area is still a smart move, just in case we are right now already finishing our ABC correction and Bitcoin simply does continue higher, because of course 1-to-1 Fibonacci time level is going to be hit. That is also right now why I really think we can reach 1.23 thousand likes on this specific video, and also thank you for subscribing to the channel. Let me right now share with you another reason why ideally I would already like to see another push towards the upside. The first reason is going to be exponential moving averages on the 4-hour time frame, and the second reason is going to be what is right now happening in the order flow on the 30-minute time frame. And later in the video I am even going to share with you the exact level you should be aware of, when we can then say almost for certain, okay, the ABC correction is finished, Bitcoin is going to continue its way literally straight towards another all-time high. So what we are right now going to do, let's apply on the 4-hour time frame exponential moving averages, where you can right now clearly see Bitcoin is trading exactly at the 50 exponential moving average, one of the best levels you can be aware of in a significant uptrend. Why so? Because you can see, historically speaking, clearly we did not go towards our 200 EMA. Bitcoin bottomed out at the 50 EMA on the 4-hour time frame. We got a bounce literally straight towards another all-time high. Also, in the previous examples in a very strong uptrend, only the 50 EMA is being tested, and only after we see a bounce right here, Bitcoin continues its way much higher towards the upside. Also right here, perfectly respected level, Bitcoin continues higher. That is why I am telling to you, sure, we can drop lower, sure, Bitcoin can hit our lower price target, but the thing is, nothing in the market is certain. And I also do think, if you look at this specific theory with the 50 EMA on the 4-hour time frame, Bitcoin could already see a bounce literally at the area where we are as of right now, and we simply continue higher. Now it's up to you if you really want to deploy your capital and risk it at this specific area. I still do think a better trade would be offered to us approximately at 14,000 US dollars, but of course, unfortunately, we do not know with 100% probability if the level is actually going to be hit. So you need to know right now if you feel comfortable risking some capital at this specific area, or if you're not prepared to fire a long position right here and Bitcoin already does continue higher, do you feel comfortable being in no positions at all? So of course, it is up to you. Personally, I'm right now still holding some major long positions on Bitcoin and on the entire crypto market. However, if we do go lower, I also do remain in my short position, and I am going to get stopped out of this position if Bitcoin does see right now already a push towards the upside towards 120.8 thousand US dollars. Another reason why ideally in the next couple of hours I want to see higher is going to be because of the bullish absorption. Pay attention right now on the chart on the 30-minute time frame. What is right now happening with Bitcoin? We are clearly seeing another higher low being formed and another lower low being formed on the CVD indicator. This right here is going to be a bullish divergence on the CVD indicator, bullish absorption. So it means that the selling pressure is coming in the market exactly at this specific area, but it's not able to push the price lower. Bullish absorption, bullish Bitcoin indication. That is why I am telling you that at the area where we hit a very important level. We are seeing some bullish absorption happening right here. However, once again, the bigger, very important price target still has not been hit. So it's up to you if you want to risk your capital for potentially firing a long right here, or simply if you want to wait for lower targets if potentially they are going to happen. Another very important target that you should be aware of more locally is going to be the anchored VWAP exactly from the all-time high. And of course, what we are right now going to do, anchor it exactly at the all-time high. You can actually see the first important level is coming in approximately at 118.6 thousand US dollars. So this level right here is going to be the first local area of resistance. However, it's not going to be the biggest one. The next level, I would like to see Bitcoin breaking towards the upside for us to then actually say, okay, an ABC correction is most likely finished right here. We go straight towards the all-time high. It is going to be a very important volume level. And before we do talk about that, if you want to trade with us, make sure you take an advantage of the 8,000 US dollar bonus, no KYC and no VPN, with the second link down below, because Bitunix exchange is right now giving to you only after you register a 10 USDT free bonus, and after you deposit, you're also going to get a 20% deposit deposit bonus. A very exclusive campaign we have right now with BTUnix, so make sure you take an advantage of all of the bonuses using the second link down below, no KYC and no VPN. And that is also right now why I need to share with you the next major and a very important target you should be aware of when we can then say, okay, an ABC correction is likely finished, let's continue higher. We are simply going to measure the entire upper price section with the volume, and here you can notice we are trading approximately at the point of control at the biggest volume cluster, but usually the most important levels are going to be the value area low and the value area high. Once we start breaking the value area high, in my opinion, a super high probability the entire ABC correction right here is finished. We are going to continue straight towards another all-time high, and this level is coming in at 119.6 thousand US dollars, aligning also very nicely with the recent high right here, which means liquidity exactly at this specific area. If we break it towards the upside, happy days for Bitcoin. Let's look straight towards another all-time high. The exact same thing is also going to be towards the downside. Losing the value area low is a bearish Bitcoin indication, and if we lose it, to be honest, I really do think we are going to go much lower towards the area of approximately 114,000 US dollars. And probably right now you're also wondering, why do I think that this specific price target right here is such an important level? It's simply going to be because Bitcoin usually likes to fill all of the CME gaps, and at the moment the CME gap is still right here. We are also going to form another CME gap in the next couple of hours right here. However, because Bitcoin is trading almost exactly at the close of the CME futures chart, we are probably not going to see a very big gap right here. However, another gap that is right now quite big is going to be at approximately 114,000 US dollars. That is why I am telling to you, of course, if we do see a push down towards 114,000 US dollar area, of course, I am looking for another long or buying position right here, but unfortunately, we do not know if the level is going to be hit. That is why I already do remain in my long position right here from approximately 102.5 thousand US dollars, and if we are going to go lower, of course, I am prepared for that, holding another short position from approximately 120.8 thousand US dollar area. Another thing that I want to share with you is going to be the liquidations chart, because on the 3-day time frame, clearly we have bigger liquidations right now exactly below the recent lows, where approximately 60 or 70 million of long positions are going to get wrecked. Now, to be honest, the liquidations that are going to come in are nothing significant, so that is why ideally I want Bitcoin to actually already continue its way towards the upside. First of all, we are going to see how the price is going to behave approximately at our anchored VWAP at approximately 118.7 thousand US dollars. If broken, yes, ideally we are then also looking for the break of the value area high, and for Bitcoin to then of course also continue straight towards another all-time high. That is why if you want to trade with us, take an advantage of the free bonus, no KYC, no VPN, with the second link down below, because only after you register you're going to get 10 USDT and then deposit, because you're going to get a 20% deposit bonus. But also right now, thank you for smashing up the like button.